So the other day I was watching a video on Minecraft's rarest biomes, and you might be thinking to yourself, what is Minecraft's rarest biome? You might be thinking of the Mushroom Island, but it's a lot rarer than that. You might also be thinking the Ice Spikes, but it's also rarer than that. And you might also be thinking the Woodland Mansion, but it's not really even a biome, and it's rarer than that still. The biome that is the rarest is a little biome called the Modified Jungle Edge. The special thing about the Modified Jungle Edge is that it only generates when a jungle generates next to a Swamp Hills biome. And the thing about the Swamp Hills biome is that it's also pretty rare. And when the two biomes generate together, it's not even a 100% chance that they even generate a Modified Jungle Edge. And when comparing it to the entire size of the overworld, the Modified Jungle Edge only takes up 0.0027% of the entire overworld. And comparing that to the Mushroom Island, 0.056% of the overworld, 200 more times than the Modified Jungle Edge. And you might have thought that the most rare biome would have been something cool like Ice Spikes. It's really not, it's just a part of the jungle that only generates in specific circumstances. And while on the topic of rare items, what is the rarest item in the game? Well, the common items like wood or dirt, for example, are really easy to find, so they're not going to be in that really rare category. And next, past that, we have things like mob heads or the nether star or enchanted books. But they're still not all that rare compared to like golden apples or music discs. But the most rare item in the game, which is much cooler than the Modified Jungle Edge, is the enchanted golden apple. And the enchanted golden apple is pretty rare in itself, with its highest chance of generating being in the Bastion Remnant, with a 6.5% chance of being there. And considering the latest release, 1.16.4, the piglin broods are not going to make that easy to obtain. And the next highest is a 3.1% from a normal dungeon and the Woodland Mansion, which also are pretty luck-based in finding themselves. And other things that are pretty hard to find in the game are structures. And you might be thinking back to the Woodland Mansion earlier that was so rare. It's not the hardest thing to find, considering you can just buy a map to the place itself. The hardest thing to find is probably a fossil, which is completely luck-based and can be entirely encased in stone if you're not looking and finding it. And on top of that, it can only generate in two biomes, the desert and the swamp. But these are just some rare things that you've probably only seen once or twice before, and I thought I'd just take a minute and talk about it for a while, just because a lot of these things people don't really know about. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.